All those in favor?
Aye from Billy.
So the first thing on our agenda is music in the park. So we have the band confirmed, right, Nick?
Yep.
Okay. For what date? Because I had 2 dates on my calendar. I was confused about that.
The date's October 2nd.
We
Okay.
can't hear you, Nick.
Hold on.
How's this? Sound quality is probably worse, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. The date's October 2nd. We have a band here till Sunday. They said yes. I sent them the paperwork, and I'm waiting to get that back. We won't have a food truck, so we're going to need volunteers. Just the minimal amount in the snack shack.
I think
That's it.
Chris, she seemed like she was fine with doing the concession stand if that's how it worked out.
Yeah, we talked about it before.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So any concerns with that? Okay. I guess that's just going to be like the other concerts that we've done in the park, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a normal concert like last year.
So what's the time's going to be? You start at 5?
5 to 7, yeah. Yeah, 5 to 7.
Okay. Good. So we can start advertising that. So now that we have that confirmed, do you think it's too late to redo the flyers and print them? Do you think there's still value to that?
I think there's still value to that, especially if you can really maybe just do an individual flyer for the concert itself to have at your next movie. I would think I would do that.
Okay. Because I
I
know.
can add a slide into the pre-show.
I mean, maybe you can get some sort of promotional picture or something from them and create a flyer from that. I think that would be good. And hand it out at your next 2 movies.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
And then I can print, you know.
Okay, so I think we're good on music in the park. The second thing was the Sykesville Cinema for August 14th, and we're showing Toy Story 4. So good news first is that we had, I think it was 95 people at Princess and the Frog. So
That's wonderful.
Hopefully that keeps up. I think we're good to go with movie setup and snack shack and volunteers. I don't have any concerns with that. I was going to ask Eric about the activities. So for this past movie, he did a lot more activities than before, and we kind of just set them up in
The pavilion.
the pavilion by the movie screen. And so I think that worked out better. And I set the movie time on Facebook to account for that. So I set the event for earlier than I typically do, so people were showing up earlier.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I definitely saw more people doing the activities.
So I'm assuming he's going to do something similar again. Okay, I'll just make note of that.
I know we had talked about so I don't know if you've seen Toy Story 4, but there's a character called Forky.
Yeah.
And so we had talked about, like make your own.
Oh,
Forky.
doing that as a craft. I think that's a great idea.
So does anybody else have anything about the movies?
Just a reminder, Brian, or whoever, that cart is at the townhouse. I purchased the cart for you guys, the utility cart.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so I still got to
Pick up
get,
tomorrow probably.
well, that, or I was going to ask the Public Works to drop it off and put it in the snack shack if you want them to do that.
That'll work.
Okay, I'll ask him tomorrow.
We still have the key though. I kept meaning I need to give it to Brian to take to the townhouse.
Okay,
I don't
I
know if
think
we
there
have
was some confusion about the key. Carrie, you were there that day? No, Craig had told me that there was some confusion about the key and who had it. Was it Chris that came?
Yeah, and she called us. I had it.
Okay, so you guys just kind of make sure you everybody knows who has the key. Because Craig was a little flustered. He's like, I don't know where the key is. And so,
All right. Yeah, Chris knows that I have it now.
okay, good.
Okay, so that's good for the movie. And then for the cleanup, this isn't until September, but I wanted to start thinking about it. And I know locations will have to wait till closer to the event date.
Well, not necessarily. So Joe and I discussed it last week and we had an idea. So the last few cleanups you guys have done is kind of been a focus on trash and kind of gotten away from the parks and doing along roadways and Main Street and so that sort of thing. And we would like to see these cleanups kind of brought back to the parks, especially with some of the notes that Billy provided and what we've seen for ourselves. And so we were thinking maybe a good park to focus on would be Beach Park. Beach Park has old mulch and it needs new mulch. So our thought was maybe you could just kind of focus all your volunteer, and Billy, step in anytime if you've got any thoughts on it, but focus all the volunteers on that park. We could have Public Works already have had mulch delivered, have a dumpster there so that the old mulch can be dug out and thrown in the dumpster, and then you guys could put the new mulch in. There could be weeding done. There could be any plants. We can. I would maybe guys, when you guys have time, go over to Beach Park and take inventory of things you might like to see done at the park, and anything that you need to be there ready to go on September 18th. We can make sure that happens so that when you guys show up, you'll have all the mulch you need, the dumpster you need, plants or paint or whatever it is. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'd suggest maybe at least a few of us get together one day and just meet at that park to come up with a game plan.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then,
Mhm.
yeah. Yep.
That sounds good. 'Cause I was,
Oh,
sorry, go ahead, Billy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and we might be better served by doing two different dates there, because I don't know where you're going to dump the mulch if it's dumped in advance. Is that what you're talking about doing? And
No,
then
we were
have
gonna
volunteers pull.
No, we're going to have Public Works have a dumpster there.
So they're going to be pulling the old mulch out, or
No, we were
the
well-
volunteers are?
volunteers.
Okay, and then where would the new mulch be placed? And
We
Or
haven't
the
gotten that
volunteers.
far, but we would certainly have it delivered there and ready for you guys to put in.
yeah, in the years
The
that we've been doing
logistics
it,
of it all hasn't been put together, but we would like to have everything prepped for you so that when you came in that day, you were good to go.
yeah, we might want to consider doing 2 days. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the same crew, but on one day pulling the old mulch out, putting it in the dumpster or whatever we're doing with it, and then on the day of delivery of the mulch, have that mulch dumped right into the park. In the past, we've done it multiple ways, and if you dump the mulch on the outside of the park, I mean, you're doubling up the work. If it's dumped into
Sure.
the park, the volunteers can basically rake it out and smooth it out. It turns into it's a lot of work, and one gate there in and out, it's going to be tough. So maybe we
Okay.
can talk about doing that, where they can dump it over the fence and just put a giant pile there, and we'll rake it out, smooth it out.
Okay.
But first we'll need to clean it out, maybe, day before or days before that.
Okay,
Or
we
could
certainly can,
schedule-
I can talk this through with Derek too, and maybe they clean out enough where the mulch can be dumped, and then you guys kind of do the rest, but we'll kind of work out the different possibilities. But we can make it work.
Okay. And is Jones being considered as well? That park is in desperate need of mulch as well.
I mean, a lot of the parks are, we're gonna throw
Mhm.
out one to get started and then, kind of go from there. And there's work that Public Works needs to do as well. So, we'll just kind of knock them out one at a time, Billy, and see how we get. And, I'll mention to
Mhm.
Joe and see what our, access to Public Works is to kind of start working on some of these parks as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say that works out really well with coordinating, because I was concerned about timing and, having enough volunteers where we needed them. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So I mean, now we got plenty of time. We have, what, I guess really just one more meeting, right? But we can, maybe between now and the next meeting, you guys go take a visit over there and kind of do a laundry list of things, and then, we'll see what we can do to have it all prepped for you guys on that day. And then you can start advertising for it right away.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I mean, if you like the idea of Beach Park, you can already go ahead and put that on your Facebook or wherever else you're posting.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go over. Just a reminder, we won't be at the August meeting.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes.
That's why I kind of wanted to get the ball rolling now, so I
Yeah.
can be involved.
Well, so that's even more important. If you guys have a chance to go over there and take a look, and maybe you can just send me an email or send us all an email with, your thoughts, and then we can incorporate those into the meeting for August.
Okay. Sweet. All right, and yeah, I think that we're still good on. We got so many trash bags, and we're good on gloves still. So
Okay.
So I mean, that was everything.
Yeah.
Town updates.
The only town updates, I'm not sure if everybody was on when I mentioned it earlier, but the buddy bench was installed over at Cooper Park. The Girl Scouts came and they had the little ceremony. Mayor Link was there as well. They did some photos, and the bench is actually really cute. I wasn't sure what to expect, and it's actually really cute. And I think that's the only update I have I can think of.
Any update on the water park?
No. So they were supposed to do the electric this past weekend, and that got bumped by BG&E. I believe it's rescheduled, but it's a few weeks, right?
So it's rescheduled for hopefully this Sunday for the electrical work.
Oh, so sooner than I was thinking.
But the inspections have been pushed as well, and I think
Maybe that's what I was
they've
thinking.
been pushed a
I had in my
couple-
mind it's probably another few weeks, right? Yeah.
Mhm. We're really trying though.
So,
So when it is complete, and it should be complete before summer's over, we're not going to make a big deal of the opening. We'll do a soft opening, and then Memorial Day weekend next year we'll do a ribbon cutting ceremony or something. Make a bigger deal out of it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, sounds good.
yeah. And the zip line. Have you heard the update on the zip line? I don't think I've talked about that yet. So the zip line, they've been in talks with the playground company. The playground company has put together a game plan to reinstall it with a bumper at the end. We think what's causing the problem is the zip line, the ride itself running too far, hitting the end and kind of banging and swinging. And so they're working out some sort of bumper system to slow that thing down, and hopefully prevent any more damage to the cable, which was happening in the past. But we're probably looking at 5 or 6 weeks, I think, is what they said. There is going to be a big event at Cooper Park in October, and I don't have that date with me. West Friendship Church is doing their fall event there. That they used to do a winter event. They did a fall event year before last, before COVID. It's a big event. They expect about 1,000 people. 800 to 1,000 people is what they put down. They do a lot of stuff. They do games. They do pony rides. They do an animal display, I think. And I think they're going to do a trunk or treat down Cooper Drive. But they'll be putting flyers out for that.
Awesome.
And when I send out the email, next time I send you guys an email, I'll send you that date so you know when it is. Do you recall when it is? It's October.
I have October 23rd.
Okay, good. So she did have it, October 23rd. So that'll be a big event there that day.
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
Well, before we leave, we should recognize the float.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, bye.
Very nice job to this group. Brian and Nick, and I'm not sure. Brian, who else was on your construction
Billy.
crew there?
Billy and Alex.
Billy,
Billy
and Alex.
Nick was instrumental in getting it finished.
Well, congratulations to all of you. Congratulations on the win to all of you. It was a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Way to go.
Yeah, good job.
So, since a lot of people couldn't come, we want to put together like a little celebration for the Spark people with some of the prize money.
Yeah. Maybe like an ice cream social or something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Shortest Spark meeting ever, I think.
I think so.
Okay.
That means you guys are doing things really well.
Yeah. All right. So I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, guys, have a good